The 4Ps model on creativity. What is creativity? When asked, many people will point to outcomes, like my painting at the back, a painting that takes your breath away, a clever app that changes how we live, or a piece of music that captures a feeling words could never. But creativity is bigger than just the final product. Back in 1961, Mel Rhodes felt that creativity isn't one thing, it's many things. He broke it down into 4 perspectives, the 4 Ps: product, process, the person, and press. This framework has since become a cornerstone for creativity research because it reminds us that what we call creative depends on how we choose to look at it. The product. Let's start with the most obvious, the product. When we say something is creative, we usually mean the outcome, a novel idea, a design, a theory, or an artwork. But here's the catch. A product is only creative if it's both new and valuable. Novelty without usefulness is just noise. Usefulness without novelty is routine. Think of the iPhone. It wasn't the first mobile phone, nor the first device with internet. But in 2007, it reimagined what a phone could be, blending communication, computing, and aesthetics into a single sleek device. That leap, new and valuable, is what made it creative. But the question of value is slippery. A piece of modern art dismissed as meaningless today might be hailed as genius tomorrow. A scientific theory ignored in one era might later become revolutionary. The creative product always sits in context, cultural, historical, even personal. Psychologist Teresa Amabile addressed this with the consensual assessment technique. Basically, if a group of qualified experts agrees that a product is creative, then it probably is. In other words, creativity is partially or partly about social validation. It's not just the product itself, but how it lands in the world. The process, still a product, doesn't appear out of thin air. Behind every outcome is a process. And here's where things get fascinating. Because creative processes are messy, looping, and unpredictable. The classic model comes from Graham Wallas in 1926. Preparation, incubation, illumination, and verification. You work on a problem, you step away. Suddenly, the aha moment hits, and then you refine the idea into something workable. This sequence still resonates today, though we know it's not always linear. Another influential approach is the Gene-Plore model. Generate and explore. You generate raw ideas, half-formed possibilities, and then explore them, test them, reshape them. It's less like a straight road and more like wandering through a forest, doubling back, stumbling upon unexpected paths. And then there's the world of creative problem-solving techniques. Think of Alex Osborne, the ad man who gave us brainstorming. His creative problem-solving model broke the process into stages, finding objectives, gathering data, framing the problem, generating ideas, and eventually landing on solutions people can actually accept. Here's a practical example. Say a city faces chronic traffic congestion. The process might start with gathering data about traffic patterns, incubating possible solutions, then brainstorming wild ideas like flying taxis. Most won't work, but a few, like dedicated bus lanes or adaptive traffic signals, may pass verification and become reality. What this shows us is that the creative process isn't mystical, it's systematic, but not rigid. It's structured enough to guide us, yet flexible enough to welcome surprise. And in many ways, it's the engine of creativity, the hidden work behind the visible product. So far, we've looked at the creative product, the outcome, and the creative process, the engine that drives it. But creativity isn't just about what's made or how it's made. It's also about who makes it and where they make it. The person. Every creative act comes from someone. An individual with traits, skills, motivations, and quirks that shape how they engage with the world. Research into creative personality often points to openness to experience, curiosity, imagination, sensitivity to nuance. Creative people tend to notice connections others overlook. But personality isn't just about traits. It's also about motivation. Take intrinsic motivation. Doing something because it fascinates you, not because of money or recognition. Studies show that intrinsic motivation fuels deeper, more meaningful work. Think of Marie Curie, who worked tirelessly with radioactive elements long before anyone recognized her contributions. Or Vincent van Gogh, who painted with intensity and vision despite little validation in his lifetime. But here's the nuance. Extrinsic motivation, like rewards or recognition, isn't always bad. If it's supportive, informative, and aligned with personal values, it can boost creativity. A young scientist, for example, might push harder, not because she's fascinated by her research, but also because she knows her findings could save lives. So the creative person is not a stereotype of the lone genius. It's a dynamic mix of traits, drives, and contexts that interact in unique ways. The press. Environment. Then there's the environment, or as Rhodes called it, the press. No one creates in a vacuum. Press refers to the pressures and supports that surround creative work. Family, schools, organizations, culture, and even the zeitgeist of an era. Think of Silicon Valley in the early 2000s. The press was ripe for creativity. Venture capital, networks of skilled engineers, a culture that embraced risk and the promise of big rewards. That environment processed thousands of startups into existence. Some failed, but some changed the world. At a smaller scale, the classroom environment matters too. Research shows that students are more creative when they're given flexible spaces, collaborative opportunities, and teachers who encourage autonomy instead of rigid conformity. The same applies to workplaces. Teresa Amabile's research highlights freedom, resources, supportive supervisors, and recognition as key drivers of workplace creativity. But the press can also suppress. Environments dominated by fear of failure, micromanagement, or rigid norms often strangle creative impulses before they can surface. Creativity flourishes only when the soil is fertile. Here's the real takeaway. These 4 P's: product, process, person, and press don't stand alone. They overlap, intersect, and amplify each other. Creativity is a system. Mihaly puts it beautifully in his systems theory of creativity. A creative person interacts with a domain of knowledge and a field of gatekeepers who judge the work. It's not enough to have ideas. They must be shaped by process, grounded in a person's capabilities, and validated or rejected by the environment. Think of a musician. The product is the song. The process is the messy back and forth of composing. The person brings their imagination, skills, and motivation. And the press, the cultural climate, the audience, the industry decides whether that song resonates or disappears. Creativity, then, is a magic. It's a dance between these 4 forces. And understanding this helps us not only to appreciate the creative works around us, but also design better conditions for creativity in our own lives, our classrooms, and our organizations. To sum up, Rhodes' 4 P's model is simple but profound. It reminds us that creativity isn't just the spark of inspiration or the brilliance of a single mind or the beauty of a finished work. It's the interplay of people, processes, products, and pressures. A system that, when aligned, makes the impossible possible.